Welcome to the Throne of Wealth, the podcast that empowers you to reign over your financial future. Each episode brings you tax strategies, wealth building insights, and stories from inspiring entrepreneurs. The Throne of Wealth is brought to you by King of Kings accounting firm, where financial challenges become opportunities for growth. Let's get into it.
Welcome to today's podcast. We have a wonderful, amazing CEO with us today, guest speaker Hilda Abbott. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Karen, for having us.
Hilda, tell us a little bit about your career, your background, what do you do for the community, and why Root Hill Commercials?
Well, I have several companies under the Root Hill brand. We have what is Root Hill Companies, Root Hill Commercial, Root Hill Development, and Root Hill Cares. That is our nonprofit. I've been in real estate for the past 24 years, and we are an initiative-based brokerage firm. So what that means is that we work and push a lot of different initiatives to help our Hispanic communities and other communities at large.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about more about Root Hill Commercials and all these plans that you have for the community, for the entrepreneurs, for the business owners, and helping those entrepreneurs out there that have been paying for years. They've been paying rent.
Well, I started my trajectory in the commercial real estate close to 12 years now. And we formed a company that now is very large. And I decided to open up Root Hill Commercial for the fact that I learned so much from other communities that I saw that our Hispanic community was missing. The lack of information of financings, the lack of the importance of having the right accounting in place, the lack of knowing what a business plan is, what projections are, that we see that a lot of other people do very well in their businesses. And us being the Hispanic community, we are the entrepreneurs, the ones that are opening up different businesses, right? Mm-hmm. But having those components have hindered a lot of our businesses. And I saw this as a mission of Root Hill Commercial to bring in the knowledge and the education that I have worked on for years with other communities and lift up our small businesses and businesses at large as well.
What is one of those stories that you have seen that, helping the community for so many years and the small business owner in a day-to-day that you would like, this is why Root Hill exists?
Well, for Root Hill Commercial, the biggest challenge that I've seen, first of all, which is one of the biggest attributes as well, is seeing how the entrepreneur spirit of our community is. And a good example is a client I had several years ago in one of our previous buildings, and he was not able to rent anything. He had a lot of student loan debt because he was an attorney. He had just graduated, and we had a property off of Jimmy Carter, and I gave him the opportunity, very small practice, and from there, this company has grown by the thousands. So seeing that when we do give opportunities to our people, I was able to do so because I was the landlord. But a lot of people just look at us like black and white. And we are so intricate in our culture that it may not look good what we look on paper, but we're amazing people. So Root Hill Commercial came about for that same reason. We are going to be buying our own properties to rent to our people, to put them in different programs so they're able to scale, they're able to grow their companies with the right partners, like King of Kings helping us with the part of the accounting. We have different chamber organizations, different nonprofits that are part of this team, helping different lenders, different education seminars. So I'm very excited about our future at Root Hill Commercial for our businesses.
Tell us more. I want the community to hear. We talked a lot about off the podcast, and you were mentioning about these projects that you have coming up about these housing programs for those that are still renters, right? And or for those that are trying to invest into a different type of channels. I know that you're helping a lot of our clients, a lot of people in that community to invest and grow their investment portfolio. Tell us more about that part of the business that Root Hill does.
Well, we're a very different, unique brokerage firm. We believe that community inclusion equals empowerment with the real estate component involved. And what that means is that if we do it right, we are going to need of real estate throughout our lives, whether it is where we work, where we park our cars, where we go to the banks, where we send our children to school, where we live. And real estate for me, I studied real estate. I have a master's from Georgetown on real estate. And knowing how the urbanization and gentrification affects different cultures differently. So we are very much initiative-based. We have partnered up and are exclusive for different housing departments of different nonprofits and different organizations under our corporate residential. So companies can also have the staff readily available to stay. That is a big problem with employers. People move, they can't pay their rent, they have to move further out, they lose their jobs. So we're formulating a lot of very good with different industry leaders here how to help in the different initiatives. It's not just about buying and selling real estate, but it's what real estate actual means and the impact for businesses as well as on the personal side.
Well, that's amazing. And tell us one story of an aha moment that you had of helping a family or a company. And how did that change their life, and obviously how that impacted you in a good way of something good that you did for that family or community.
For the past, I have a family that did not have immigration status. They had a property they bought a couple of years ago. The property had gotten a lot of equity. The school system was not the best that they wanted for their children. They were paying private school at that point. When they came to me, we did the full analysis of what they were actually spending additional monthly for the private school. So when we did that analysis, we were able to find, hey, what you guys were paying in a mortgage plus the private school, we could get you into a property that is going to have better schools and will rent your current property so you could have additional income. Long story short, we went through the process, and the husband, at the end of everything, he was like, I can't believe we actually did this. So they couldn't even understand what happened. I said, let the experts do this. And they live in an amazing home. Now the children are going to public school, but it's a very high-ranking public school, and they're saving almost $1,000 a month based on the expenses they had at the other property. Wow. So now they are investors. They have tenants that they get equity every month, and they're saving money on the school system for their children. So that is something that for me is one of the many stories of what we do behind end, because sometimes when people see realtors, they just think like salespeople. And that is correct. I mean, in the industry, we do have people that get into real estate for the commission. But our company is more mission and vision driven, because even though you do good and philanthropy work, it does work in your favor because you understand what real estate actually means.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing to see, I have known you for a couple of years now. And the moment we met, to me, somebody was asking the other day, how was that an aha moment? And I said, this is something different.
I say love at first sight. That's what happened. I mean, when you find like-minded individuals that are very purpose-driven in their businesses, obviously businesses are for-profit, but I believe the same as you and Juan, that you could still do profit and do good. And both things can work in the same unison road. And when business owners that are servicing the public stop understanding that, is where you see a lot of the issues with these businesses fail. No loyalty to their clients, to their customers, just profit driven. People leave because people, I mean, all of us are emotional, and we want the best for our families, the best for our businesses. And if we're not receiving that, people do go elsewhere. So being very purpose driven on what we do in our careers, and I say this to a lot of business owners when we're doing business seminars and different things of that nature, is that for your success, yes, we need money. Yes, we need technology. Yes, we need staff. But if the leadership does not understand how to move these people and how to move the whole organization, it's going to crumble.
Yeah. Yeah. So having an understanding of the organization and understanding of your numbers and where you're going is extremely important. I think that's one of the key points or key indicators that we have at our events.
Yes.
And a wealth creation event, and where we get and share this information with entrepreneurs, with the community to, like you were saying earlier in the conversation, to educate our community of what's possible, right? Because a lot of the things, I think, in a day-to-day basis, we're so focused on what I have to do, what's next, that we don't paint the next picture. We don't paint the next thing in line. We don't paint the goals ahead of us, and we don't see the big picture of what it's possible for us. And I would like for you to talk a little bit about how you're helping our clients that have come to us, and it's just like I don't own a piece of real estate at the moment. Majority of what I have, it's a loan. I owe the bank, and it's just like, that you've been paying thousands and hundreds of dollars in rent for all these years.
Yes.
And now you can own your shopping center, or you can own your space that you've been renting in. And it's, that impossible, or that they weren't even thinking about, because you had a conversation with one of our clients earlier this morning, and he said, Hilda said, one of our conversations, I haven't even thought about it, that it was possible for me to own my own shopping center. So tell us more about that.
Well, when people, we have to analyze financials. That's why accounting is so important, right? I mean, I'm not going to preach to the preacher, but this is the biggest part and the biggest challenges in our community. But for me, I'm a problem solver. So when I see that, I know that if we do the right steps, we're able to get to the end goal. Because if you're already paying X amount of rent, your business is producing X amount of dollars, we have to analyze all that. Obviously, we have different lenders that have different type of programs depending on the use of the property. But understanding that you do have an important, and it is doable. And maybe I make it seem a bit easier that people understand it, because I am an investor in commercial real estate. I have in different portfolios of different commercial buildings, whether warehouse, retail, my own money. So I believe in the work that I do. And them seeing that, okay, it is doable, I'm paying this amount, are we able to find something, and the different programs out there. And what I see mostly is education is key, and information. With that, I will also say, Karen, that there is a lot of issues within our industry, and I'm saying on the real estate side, that everyone thinks they know everything. And then sometimes our small businesses that are already struggling are looking like for that light at the end of the tunnel, and then they find someone that is saying the right things, but actually do not know how to fix it. So they could lose earnest money, they could lose the projections, they could go into holdover, pay 200% of rent because this process didn't finish. So that's where we come in saying, yes, there are educated people in our community that are working to get your business to the next level.
What would be those things or key points that you would tell a business owner today to prepare or actually be in the lookout when they're going through a process like this, or if they want to start a process of acquisition for a commercial space?
Well, for the acquisition of commercial space, the first thing is we have to look at the financials. And people, if they're thinking about, well, this space is too small, I don't know if I should rent a larger space or if I should buy, is at least 9 to 12 months before their lease expiration is to start talking to their accountant and seeing how these numbers are going to look for them to have the right time to make these decisions, right? And to give us time to prepare, look for the right property, because that's another thing. We could drive by a street and think that my business is going to be good there, but it may not be suitable, and then businesses go down. So we have to do a very large market analysis. Some lenders ask for pro formas, projections, business plans, that the income is aligned. So the process should start at least 9 to 12 months for someone that hasn't even thought about it yet.
Wow. So this is not like an overnight thing.
It is not an overnight thing. We have to do searches. We have to do due diligence. There's different contingencies through the process. It's all very doable. But having the right goal in mind and having the time that works in our favor is what makes the team also be more productive.
How many years in business do a business owner needs to have to be able to buy their own commercial space?
If they're looking for financing, depending on what type of financing, it would be a minimum of 3 years because they do ask for at least 3 years of taxes on the business side, as well as 3 years on the personal side of income taxes.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, I like to ask these questions because I see it every day on the clients we get. And sometimes you might think that people already knows this information, but some people haven't heard it before, even though it is accessible or it is out there, or the thought maybe never crossed their mind that this is possible, right? And one of the things what I like and I love about our partnership or helping the community and the clients and many entrepreneurs and business owners that want to start their investment portfolio in real estate is the fact that you mentioned earlier in the conversation that we're honest and we're all about adding value to very, very like-minded people.
Yes.
Adding value through the services that we do when it comes to serving the client well, and this is for families to be able to build something bigger than themselves.
And become landlords.
Exactly.
And rent to their own. I mean, we are having such a shortage of inventory because a lot of different other communities are buying it in. But when I do these analysis on the county level and state level that we work on budgets and different things like that, then I see, well, this shopping center is in a Hispanic dominant neighborhood, but these properties, 90% of them are owned by other cultures. So that should tell us, hey, these people see our value. They're buying into communities that service our Hispanic community. How do they do it? These are the steps. And if more of us get together and are able to invest in our own businesses, as others do, we do have the power. We have the masses of the community. We're hardworking people. We have our businesses. And that is one of my mission and vision moving forward, to bring the messages to our businesses. You can own, but you have to be prepared to be in the same playing field as other communities as well.
What would be one fun fact that you'll say about you?
About me, I like doing different type of things that people don't know. I like gardening.
Oh, okay.
And I like doing spa treatments. So I make them my own. Scrubs, different type of facial care. That's what I use on my face and my body. So I mix a couple of things together, the best of the best, and then I do it. And sometimes I give it away. Sometimes I'm like, well, they're going to think Hilda is crazy. But it's good stuff, though. It's good stuff. I have 4 dogs. I live in an amazing home full of love. I have amazing people around me. I pride myself in saying that it's not one person that builds the company. It's partners. It is staff. It is the right people in your playing field. And I've been always very blessed to have that.
How, I want you to elaborate a little bit more about having the right people around you. I think that's a key for for businesses to go to the next level. Who will be those key players that a business trying to grow and trying to scale? They need to see if they have either in their portfolio of contacts in the directory or accessible to them, for that matter. Who would those people be? Will you based on your opinion?
In my opinion, the first one is having the right accounting in place. That is something that makes or breaks a business on multiple levels. You could get audited by the IRS. You don't know how much money you have to pay your staff. You don't know if you have enough money to pay your vendors. So, I mean, all those things we see, right? And people could think that their businesses are doing so good, but when they're actually analyzing, it's actually doing pretty bad, right? So the accounting component, marketing is very important as well, for businesses in general. And then depending on what industry you have, obviously you're going to need a manager. If you have a business that is in an office space, you're going to need an operations coordinator. So depending on the size of the organization, but having your accounting and your right message will be able to let your business grow and expand. I would say those are the two first ones for entrepreneurs that are thinking of it. You need to have your books in place. You need to know if your company is structured correctly, what type of payroll you're going to have. Those things are super important. And if done correctly at the beginning, then you won't have these issues when your business expands.
Yeah, that is so true. Because sometimes we don't pay attention to those things, and then we overhire. And then you're like, okay, but my business sales are good, but I'm still not making any profits.
Yes.
And it's just not understanding your numbers, right? Not understanding your numbers can harm your business really tremendously. But tell us a little bit about the events that we're doing, Hilda. I want people to hear about it. I want people to know what's coming. I mean, Root Hill has an unpacked package of surprises for the rest of 2024 and 2025.
Well, with the wealth creation, I mean, it's amazing. And what I've seen is that as we do more of them, we are evolving, right? The one now in October 5th is going to be wonderful because we're doing it more on a workshop style in which the clients is not just going to be information. It is putting what we've discussed in the past in place. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be sharing about different initiatives that I am looking for business partners to join with us to make different community events happen and promote their businesses. I have the first affordable housing initiative of Gwinnett County. That's one of my listings, and I'm going to be working a lot of those coming soon. So I'm very excited to share everything that we have going on at Root Hill as we start evolving and restructuring and seeing how to best service our clients in our community.
This is amazing. Amazing to see our clients excited about buying their next real estate commercial property, having, like you were saying, having things in order, believing in themselves, and having the right person to guide them to build that a portfolio, right? And that's having Root Hill companies on their side and their contact information alongside to be income, to you for those type of advices. Tell us before we finish here. Tell us what has been the most impactful or the advice that you will say that King of Kings has given you or the companies of a client that you work with us, either in the personal level or either through a client that you have seen through our services.
Well, for me, I love you guys. I mean, like you guys are like my right arm. I don't know if I'm going to move in here sometime soon. I'm here constantly, but in a good way, right?
Yeah.
I don't have these audits or any of these issues, right? Because I got you on my side, right?
Exactly.
But I see the impact of what you guys do on a level that is not accounting. And I see it not because I believe in what you guys do, but of the education that you guys have and what you guys prepare yourself, invest in the business to be able to give the best to your clients, right? Understanding the different parts and phases of businesses. One thing that I could say is I brought in a couple of clients here that wanted to do something different, and when they came here, they have actually told me if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be able to achieve this. And we have an example of a client that wanted to rent a space for an event center. But the landlords were the area that she wanted to be in is an area that is more dominated by the white Americans. So it was a big shuffle until we were able to get her finances straight to prove that this is a viable business. And now they're going to be having their grand opening in September. So, I mean, it is very doable. We're very down-to-earth people. We work with the best of the best. And I treat real estate as an investment. It is not commission-based. It is what the foundation of what we do daily. And everywhere we go is real estate.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love about you and Big Boss here and in the office is that teaching clients, right, when you become a landlord, like you were saying earlier, thinking of that, that's a family that's going to celebrate birthdays in there. That's a family that's going to create memories in that house. So when you do this, you're impacting someone else's life, right? So you're an investor now because you have like this family that you were mentioning earlier that were able to purchase their second home, create better living for them and their families, a school system and all of that, and still were able to monetize on this investment that they did. But now they created an opportunity for somebody else. And so, this someone else will create memories in this house. This someone else will celebrate weddings, birthdays, Christmas, holidays, in this home that they were able to rent to someone else, to another family. So this is the impact that we're making through the work that we're doing here, and then for the listeners, right? This is something that they themselves, as becoming investors and investing in real estate, like we're mentioning earlier. I hadn't thought about it. I went and parked my car this morning, but I'm like, I didn't actually acknowledge, wait a minute, if I were to own this piece of land, you see what I'm saying?
You will be monetizing on it. And some of the richest families in the world, the real estate that they own, part of their portfolio are cemeteries. And people don't think about that. I mean, cemeteries are forever, right? So these people know where to actually invest in real estate. And when you think about a cemetery, you think of it like a bad thing, right? People died, that's where they are. But it is real estate. And it is owned by different institutions. And a lot of the wealthiest people in the world own this type of real estate. So that's how impactful real estate is. Maybe I look at it at a different manner since I love it so much and I studied it, that I know exactly how the moving parts work. And I want to add before we finish about me. I'm an investor myself in commercial and residential. I actually sold one of my residential portfolios because I work on what is the 4 pillars of real estate. You have the buyers, the sellers, you have your investors, and your tenants. So I invested in this property. I rented it out. I bought it in 2021, had it rented for 3 years. Bought it for $175. I'm going to give specifics since it's mine. Bought it for $175. I just closed to a cash investor for $300,000. I made, Karen, and this is actual investment strategy. This is not, buy because you're going to build generational wealth. This is facts. I made 83 cents on every dollar that I put in on this down payment. So I put in $46,000 to buy this property, and I got, for every year, I got $37,000 for my $45,000 investment, which is 83% year after year for 3 years. My cash out was $113,000. Out of $45,000, I got that money back. And then I got an additional check of my equity. So these are the different types of ways that people do create. I don't know what other type of investment you could do that is going to give you 83 cents for every dollar. I mean, I don't know about it, but these are facts. I invested my money, and it's not because I'm a hardcore investor. This is for anyone. But if you're going to put in your hard work money, you do need to have the right team. Because if I would have bought somewhere else, I would have gotten the same return. So this is knowing what actually happens and put your money to work to make money in 3 years.
Exactly. And it's a tax write-off. And now we need to do a 1031 exchange.
Yes, now we have to do a 1031 exchange and get other professionals to be able to keep this momentum going, right? I didn't want to say the bad part. I'm saying the good, but it is something that does impact. And the investor that's actually bought the place, she's going to be renting it to travel nurses. Wow. So, I mean, it's just such a very good story. I had amazing tenants there that I actually helped them buy their place.
Wow.
You see, so it is something that if you sent the right message, and I think that's what we're building momentum with our wealth creation, is the right message. We're not salespeople. We're not trying to sell our services. We're trying to show you that these services will help you elevate to the next level.
Yep. And and like you said, monetize on your dollar, 83 cents out of every dollar.
Yes.
Yeah, and then if you have it just saving there or sitting in your bank account, exposed and not doing anything, just...
And if we're not disciplined, we eat it. I mean,
Yep.
it's true. If you have money, then you spend it. I
Yep.
mean, let me take $500 out and then $1,000. Oh, I saw this. Let me go on vacation. I mean, it's facts. It's human nature. If you have money and you think that you don't need it, you're going to spend it. So doing different type of investments, real estate is one. I know people invest in, crypto and invest in other type of pension plans, but looking for what is good for you is the best option. But real estate does produce a lot of sense of good for us because we know we have a structure. We look at our money. That's the way I see it. I drive by, I see my money in that place. No one can tell me, well, tomorrow is not worth this, right? Unless the hurricane comes or a tornado takes it, then you make money, the insurance pays you, right? But you are putting your money where you're able to visually see your money grow year after year.
Yeah, you're like monetizing the ROI. It's tremendously, right? And so anything you would like to add before we wrap up here? Anything that you want to leave in the audience mind for those that are trying to build their wealth or grow their business? There's ups and downs, like in anything you do in life, right? Either if you're an employee, entrepreneur, or you start you're building, maybe your first experience with your first investment of property wasn't the best. But any advice that you would like to leave to the listeners?
I would like to invite everyone that's listening to us is that please, if you're able to come to our Wealth Creation Seminar October 5th, there's going to be a lot of information that is going to be shared. That is not coming only from us. We're doing research on the state level. We're doing statistics. We're going to be sharing different things that are not out in the market regularly because we're able to get this information based on our influence and who we deal with. So I would urge for them to come and see us in action and work a game plan on which direction are we want to move our business. That would be the first advice I would give. Let's start looking at what's going to work for you and how we're able to move you around. And if it's not a service that we offer, we do have other companies that we partner up with on the lending side, on the business planning side, different organizations, different chambers, different nonprofits that do provide different services that neither King of Kings or Root Hill does, right? So we have such a good partnership with a lot of influential people that's why we're able to do these things for our community.
Yeah, and to add on to that, October 5th, we're going to be going over a very in-depth when it comes to asset protection. Because, sometimes we work really hard. I mean, not sometimes, all the time. We work really hard. And it's just, how do you protect your assets? Building the right structure for your investments when it comes to your LLCs and, things of that nature to get to know. But this has been great. I hope that...
We could talk for hours, but I don't know if people are going to stay that long. But I truly appreciate being here with you and sharing what we're doing on a larger scale of audience. So people know they have different rights, they have different opportunities. Immigration status is not a factor. People think that that's not a factor for you to move forward in your business. So there's many topics that we're going to be touching that depending on the level that you are, there will be information available for our attendees. Yes,
this is just for the, being a high W-2 earners to being an entrepreneur, business owner, or businesses with multiple years in business and renters, right? This information is for you. So we hope to see you there October 5th on the 1818 Club.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Throne of Wealth. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review to help others find the show. A special thanks to our sponsor, King of Kings Accounting Firm, dedicated to helping you build and protect wealth for generations. Until next time, take the reins of your financial future and lead with confidence.